Hey everyone. Thank you for joining us on Behind the Witch's Veil and also Within the Cauldron. And tonight we have, of course, our family, our sister, Medium Red,
Hi,
and
everyone.
the lovely Amy, my daughter. And then we have a good friend from across the pond, David Clark, to join us tonight. Hi, David.
Hey,
Hey,
David.
good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. How are you all doing?
It's, yeah, what time is it over there? About midnight?
Yes, 1:25 in the morning.
Oh my
But all
gosh.
good.
Oh, boy.
You know, we are so fortunate to have lots of friends from the UK, but I feel so sorry for them when you guys come on. It's like really early in the morning.
No, we're all good.
But
We're all good, definitely.
David, you have a friend of yours that is coming on tonight, and I would like to give you the chance to
Yes,
introduce this guest, if you would, please.
absolutely. And hello, all out there. This is tonight. Very lucky to have Tim Dennis. And Tim Dennis basically presents, produces, and creates Darkness Radio, which is the best in paranormal talk radio podcasting. And Tim and his host take listeners on an entertaining journey into all aspects of the supernaturals, from ghosts and aliens to monsters, mysteries, myths, and legends, with guest experts, experiencers, and eyewitnesses. With many years of experience, they continue to be your guides for the encounters that seem to lie just outside the limits of normal life and just past the boundaries of the darkness on the edge of town, every town, should I say. And I skipped over as far as many years because I know with Tim, I know he's got they've got some merchandise which is 20 years celebrating that broadcasting, and I hope Tim doesn't mind me saying so. But yeah, it's fantastic. If you haven't done so already, certainly check out the great work that Tim does with all his guests and his presenting, because it is fantastic work. And Tim has, I know Tim well. Tim, tell him ideally himself, but he has appeared on Paranormal Night Shift as well on the TV. Yeah, please bring on our guest if that's okay.
There we go. Hi, Tim.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Good. How about you? Thank you for joining us.
Excellent.
Very well.
Excellent. Yeah.
Thank you.
Doing well. Doing well.
So 20 years, right?
20
From January 1st, she said.
January 1st, 2006.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like the old man on the hill. I could tell you when podcasts were just a throwaway thing in radio.
I know that you are second generation.
Yeah.
So did you take over for your father?
No, actually, my uncle was my inspiration in radio, and he worked at a station called KROC in Rochester, Minnesota. And the first time I ever saw a radio station was Thanksgiving, and I believe I might have been 9 or 10 at the time. My aunt was burning the turkey quite well, and he was trying to figure out a way to stall everybody as they were getting Thanksgiving dinner ready. And he said, "Who wants to go see the station?" And nobody in my family was thrilled. They didn't want to see anything having to do with the radio station. And I was like, me, because I always thought people lived in the radio. So I actually wanted to see what a radio station was and how it worked, because every time I went out in the yard to play, I had the radio turned on in my windowsill so that I could listen to it while I was playing. I was enthralled with the radio, and the fact that my uncle worked on radio, I thought was really cool. So, hence I wanted to go see the radio station. And so we went over to KROC in Rochester, and it being a holiday, of course, everyone's not dressed up. They're in shirts and pants, slacks. And the first thing I met with is the morning crew juggling what's called carts. They're like 8-track tapes that are used to play back elements on, like either liners or ads or music or whatever it is. and they're throwing them back and forth and juggling, and they're bored out of their mind. They just, everything's automated. So there's these big carousels that the carts play on in automation. So they're playing songs, and they only have to do their little talk sets or whatever, but they're bored silly. They just want to go home and watch a football game. And so I'm sitting there and going, oh my gosh, this is magic, right? And I'm thinking this is just the most wonderful thing. And my family's just like, oh, can we go home and eat? And I tell my parents, if I never play football, this is what I want to do for a living. And they're like, oh God, no. Like, we're so sorry we ever brought you up here. But I think my uncle was kind of, impressed that I was enthralled with it, because when we got back to his place, he said, well, do you want to see my home studio, which is downstairs? I was like, yeah. So he had a couple of cart players downstairs and a microphone and a little tiny mixing board at the time. And so he was showing me, he did voices, and he was showing me how he would do ads at home, because he also sold time, and how he put together these little ads when he would sell clients, and on top of everything else. And he also was part of the morning show there. So to me, this was like the greatest thing on earth. You could have a studio at home, right? You could do all this at home. So I was hooked from that moment on. I was like, oh, I know what I want to do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Things have changed in the radio business, haven't they, Tim?
Tell me about it. Yeah.
I grew up in the radio business too. I worked for a local radio station when I was younger, when I was about like 13, 14 years old.
Oh.
They did not know my age. I did the same thing. I worked at a radio station, KSLX radio here. So
there you go.
It's changed dramatically. It's crazy.
Okay. So you tell me, worst radio experience ever that you had?
I would have to say when it was I'm trying to remember who bought it. Used to be KOPA, and they came in and changed it to KSLX radio. Mm-hmm. And to do a promotion, they decided to call it KSLX, the all-male men's radio station. So they were literally trying to make a huge scandal, and bad press is good press, obviously. Right. So they went in and they were trying to change the format to be a men's radio station. So I would say that was probably our worst experience, because I used to get asked all the time, how do you like working for a radio station that only wants men to listen to their radio station? Yeah, I don't know.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
It was horrible.
I think I told this story on the air the other day, but we had so the first station I worked for was in Whitehall, Wisconsin, and it was in an old forgive me for not knowing why am I blanking on the term? I just got done taping a show, so my head is discombobulated. People who process the bodies are called
morticians.
Thank you very much. So it was an old mortician's parlor. But it was a house. So, it's small town, right? But in back of the house was this steep hill, and it ended up becoming a drainage hill in the spring when the snow would melt. So the water would run down and it would flood the basement, right? Shoot. So the way that the program director, who had been there since Moses was a small child and in small pants, would haze the evening and overnight people, would tell them, okay, so here's the deal. They used to process the bodies in the basement. And there are still bones down there to this day. Now, by the way, the basement floods every spring. So don't stay close to the basement, because you might see bones or bodies that'll float up while you're doing your shift. Right? So you're right? Especially if you have to do the overnight shift, because you don't want to be the one to see the bones floating up.
I do overnight right now, so I couldn't even imagine.
So there you go, right? All right, so the overnight shift, right?
Yeah, I am night shift.
So you're spinning your country hits, and it's Hank and everybody else, and then you hear drip, 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 and then you look under the door, and here comes the water under the door. You don't dare open the door, because there's water floating at the top of the door, and of course you're looking to see if you see bones. There's no bones.
So what I do for a living, I take of human bones and stuff, because I work at a hospital. Mm-hmm. I deal with the water trays, and I get whatever is left over. So I couldn't even imagine. Like if we hear flooding in decon, we're like, we don't want to go in there.
Every spring, it would flood to the top of the staircase, and sometimes it would flood onto the floor. So, and it was carpeted floor. So, what they would do is they would call someone in to clean it up. Of course, it's a hazard, right? It's a legitimate hazard, but they just always let it flood to the top of the staircase. I think it probably. I think they're still in that same building. I hope not, but
So
every
I call it human juice. I call it,
Yes.
yeah.
you-
That's what I call it personally, because I deal with stuff like that. I deal with, bodily fluids. Yeah.
Yeah.
I call it human juice. It's horrible.
Wow.
That's why we wear the suits we do, protect ourselves. But yeah.
Wow.
So that was my first
Sense.
video, was to make sure that I didn't see the bodies floating in the
For the bones.
And what would you do if you did?
You know what? In radio, you got to have a tough constitution, right? So you just go back to doing your shift and forget you saw the bones.
You pretend it doesn't happen. You're like, no,
That's right.
this didn't happen. I'm okay.
Just
I'm
figure
not
out
okay.
figure out what record you're queuing up next, and figure out what your next song set's going to be.
Exactly.
Wow. Wow. So in 20 years that you have been a radio personality,
35, but 20 doing
35.
Yeah.
35.
30
That's a long time. Yeah.
It is.
That's
Very
my
long time.
age.
Very. What was probably some of the highlights that you would never ever forget?
I've had a lot of them.
I'm sure you have. And
If you're talking just the
years.
20 years of you're talking 20 years of Darkness Radio, or you're talking just 35 years in radio in general?
Obviously, the Darkness of Radios, and that's what we are referring to at this moment.
In 20 years of Darkness Radio, I would say there's we used to do Darkness events, and there's a combination of being able to raise well over $1.5 million for different charities. I think was a big part of it when we did Darkness events. I remember Aaron Gray, who was on Buck Rogers and Silver Spoons, doing raising money for her charities, for her animal shelter. Or was it? No, she was Better Women Shelter. It was Linda Blair who did the animal shelter. We raised money for both of them. And being able to go to Erin Gray and hand her a certain amount of money for her charity, and having her say, "You raised more," along with TAPS. It was not us completely. It was TAPS, by the way.
Yeah.
When we were doing events with the Ghost Hunters guys, to be able to go to her and hand her a certain amount of money, and have her say, "You raised more in one night than it would take us for a month of charity."
Wow, that's awesome.
That felt good. I mean, that felt really good. But again, we don't do that without the people coming out to the events and the people coming out to see the Ghost Hunters guys, and come out to ghost hunt and come out to have a good time with all of us. So that doesn't happen without a complete community feel and a complete community effort. So it's stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not the kind of guy who is like, I did this and I did that. I'm not that type. But I like seeing the spirit of people coming together, so that there's a lot of memories of, again, I guess they're event memories of like being at the Stanley Hotel with a lot of different people in the community and getting to know people, individual people, hearing their stories and investigating with people.
Have you ever had an experience there?
At the Stanley?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. My brother stayed there and he didn't have any experiences, but I don't think he was open to it.
Probably not. One of the coolest experiences I think I ever heard didn't involve me directly, but me walking by a room. I was outside. So what I was doing at the time was we would have investigations in different buildings. So you had the main building, you had the concert hall, you had we had people in different buildings, and I was walking between buildings to get people to rotate out.
Yeah.
And we had people on the 4th floor, and I forget which room it was on the 4th floor, and they had their ovilus out. This is how old it was. They had their ovilus out, and as I was walking by, somebody had looked out and saw me outside as I was walking on the sidewalk, and the ovilus went, Tim, Tim, Tim.
Wow.
I love that.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool.
Oh.
It recognized me. So that's kind of a weird.
How do you feel about the spirit recognizing you? Does it make you feel like eerie or anything like that? Like, did you like it?
No, you know what? Okay, so we're in Gettysburg, outside the Eisenhower Hotel in Gettysburg.
Yeah.
I tend to have negative things happen with spirits where the low level entities want to kill me, which is cool. I like that.
Wow.
I tend to be a lighter being. They don't like me. So we were investigating at the house that's just off the grounds there at the Eisenhower, and it's been said that work crews try to come in and work at that house, and they automatically leave because of the negative experiences. So there was a group of us that went over to investigate that house, and I'm with this group of about 5 or 6 people. And we went upstairs, and for some reason, we decided we were going to play light as a board, stiff as a feather. So this was the weekend that my leg was breaking down. I have Charcot foot. So I'm in a lot of pain this weekend, right? Because it's breaking down. My leg is slowly breaking down through my ankle and my foot. It was a painful weekend. But so I'm sitting in the kitchen with them, and they're gathering EVP, but they're not really getting anything. It was kind of quiet. So I said, you know what? Maybe I'm a jinx. I'll go in the other room. And I sat near the fireplace in the other room. And so they start gathering EVP, but it's this growling noise. It's like this on the EVP.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is really weird. Let's go upstairs and gather some EVP. So they're gathering some stuff, and we decided we were going to play light as a board, stiff as a feather, and that was kind of a fun little deal. And everybody kind of gathers their evidence, and we got some stuff, but it was kind of weird, and it was just bizarre. It was a lot of growly stuff, and it wasn't friendly. I get home, and a friend of mine calls me, and she says, Tim, you have to hear this. This is so scary. And I go, oh, sure. She goes, listen to this. And she plays it for me over the phone, and I hear, can I swear, by the way, on this show?
Yeah, go ahead. It's fine.
Yes, you can.
Okay. Otherwise, I can self-edit myself. Okay. But the EVP says, that fucking dentist, kill him.
Holy cow!
Yeah, now we got it going. Now we're going.
I love how excited you were by that. So I was attacked by a spirit, and then the next day my cousin did a ghost box session with the spirit, and he lives in a different state. Okay, the spirit goes, did Amy enjoy me playing with her?
Oh,
Called me by name and everything. I'm like, no, thank you.
There you go. I've had some interesting spirit things happen. So it's most recent one was probably the Palmer House last summer, which was interesting.
Oh, good. Do tell about this Palmer House, because I'm going to be there with Cindy Kaza and Dave Schrader on June 24th to the 28th. So what should I be prepared for?
Whatever's in the basement isn't friendly.
Oh, okay. Great.
It's
I will make a note of that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Tim.
Yeah. And it says it's Raymond, but it's not.
Oh.
Not that much.
It's a poser? Is it a poser?
Yeah, it's not, because Raymond is supposedly the pimp that is up in one of the rooms with Lucy.
Okay.
And supposedly they'll tell you has migrated down to the basement.
But it hasn't.
It hasn't. No.
Okay.
There's an elemental down in the basement. I know that much.
Okay.
That exists in the basement. Whatever is down there is not human.
Okay. Thank you for the heads up. I appreciate it. As soon as you said that, I was like, wait a minute, I'm going there on June 24th. I got to know what's going on. I typically don't like to know as a medium. I typically don't like to know, but I needed to know with that. The way that you said that, it made me go, okay, wait, I need to know before I walked in.
And I'll be there June 5th and 6th with Potographs for Pooches, which is Tim and Lauren Miley's event, which raises money for the animal shelter in St. Cloud, Minnesota.
I love that. That's awesome. Yeah. Speaking of, she has trying to make an appearance. Sorry, I'm trying to put her down on the ground because she.
What's the Pooch's name?
Her name is Reese Peanut Butter Cuppers.
Oh,
I love that.
The perfect blend of chocolate and peanut butter. So yeah, she's my little min pin chihuahua. So she always likes to sit in my lap when I'm doing the podcasts.
That's great. Well,
so I have a question for you. How did you get into the paranormal? Tell us a little bit about how you got into the paranormal and what drove you to seek to know answers, etc., of the paranormal world.
Oh, I was drug in like the Godfather. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. I was never. Most people are like, "Oh, I had a fascination. This, and that." I was never in it willingly. When I was young, my great grandfather, who I was close to, who had cancer of the jaw and had his jaw removed. Because of such cancer, was on his deathbed. And I had no idea he was really sick. I knew he was ill. I knew he had the cancer, but I had no idea that he was on his deathbed. But I'd gone to sleep one night and I had this, what I thought was a dream. And I saw him in the hospital bed and I saw my grandmother on one side of him and I saw my great aunt on the other side of him. And they both were holding one of his hands and telling him, "It's okay, Dad, you can go. It's okay." It's and I was watching him pass away, but I was on the ceiling and I was watching him pass away. Wow. And I got scared. So I woke up and I ran into my parents' bedroom and I told them, "Mom, Dad, I think great grandpa died. I think Grandpa Trombley died." And my dad said, "Oh no, honey, he's not dead. He's sick, but he's not dead." And my dad at the time had sounds weird, but he had a Princess phone right next to him. But he was a computer project manager at the time, so he was in charge of a bunch of computer programmers. So he was on call all the time. Well, the phone rings like about 5 to 10 in my young mind. 5 to 10 minutes later, the phone rings. My grandmother calls and gives my dad the exact same story that I just told him from my dream, including the exact same dialogue that I had told him about my dream, exactly how it happened. So he's kind of looking at me like, freak. My mom's all, "Oh, my baby has ESP." And my dad tells me, "Well, go pour yourself a bowl of cereal and watch TV." And that's the beginning of how everything starts with me. And then from there, it's I'm a little fascinated by In Search of with Leonard Nimoy and trying to figure out how everything goes. And the phone rings and I tell my mom, "It's Auntie Lorraine. You don't want to answer the phone." And she goes, "How do you know?" I go, "I just know." Sure enough, she answers the phone and goes, "How did you know it was Auntie Lorraine?" I didn't want to answer that phone. "Well, I told you, don't answer the phone." And little things like that. Well, after I see Grandpa Trombley pass away, I don't want anything to do with it. And I shut down. I just don't want anything to do with it anymore. It was just too painful. And then it's literally, I mean, I always kind of kept tabs on it. And I always kind of would watch, like In Search of, and I'd watch these other programs and I'd have a fascination with it. But you know how you have that passing fascination, like when you watch train wrecks or cars or whatever, you go, "Well, that's interesting, but I don't ever want to know what it's like to contact a spirit. I don't ever want to know again. I don't want to know that feeling again because I could almost feel it, right? I don't ever want to know it again." And then in 2006, I'm working as operations manager at KLBB. And Dave and I have been friends since college. And he calls me and goes, "What are you doing?" He's working selling gold coins. And I said, well, I got a shitty vitamin show that I'm running. I got a shitty gold show coming up. And I said, what kind of shitty show do you want to do? He goes, I want to do a shitty paranormal show. And I went, you want to do a what? He goes, I want to do a shitty paranormal show. I said, oh, how do you figure we're going to do that? And we both were familiar with Art Bell. I mean, I used to board up, coast to coast when I was working in Winona at KWNO. And he said, I just went to UNIFCON and I met and I've been corresponding with Jay Hawes and with Grant Wilson and with John Zaffis and Rosemary Ellen Guiley, and I'm getting to know these people. I want to do a paranormal show. Okay. He goes, how fast do you think we can do it? This is in November of 2005. Not enough time to put together a show. I'm like, well, give me 90 days. No, we don't have 90 days, right? No, we have plenty of time because I'm running 3 other stations at this time. So I'm running 3 other stations at this time. But I'm like, all right, 30 days, give me 30 days to put together elements and other things and get it together to put on the station. So that's essentially how it started.
That's incredible. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That is. Now, I noticed that you also that you take different journeys into the supernatural, the aliens, monsters, mysteries, myths, and legends. So you kind of do it all in the supernatural field.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And even conspiracy theories from time to time. I'll admit I'm a conspiracy theory buff to a point, a conspiracy theorist to a point. I'll only go to a certain point and then I'll stop. I don't get into the people who go all the way down the rabbit hole and want to dedicate their lives to it. I got no time for you. But if we didn't talk about it to a certain extent and then agree to disagree and leave it alone, we're cool and we can talk. If we can, but the minute your eyes roll back in your head and you lose all sense of self, we're done. If we can sit and talk for an hour about the subject and examine sides, and we can do it without cursing each other out and not being friends anymore and disowning our families. I think we can have a good conversation about things and we can pick it up, put it down, and move on, which I think is healthy. It's healthy conversation. So I think that's what it's meant to be.
Well, that's the way it should be. And unfortunately, we don't have that anymore. That nice little debate, twist debate that you can have, but you're content to leave it just as, like you said, agree to disagree or be content to only go to a certain level and stop. Yeah, that doesn't happen anymore. It's like you even say a word 90% of the time, and the next thing you know, it's like it's an argument, and then, nope, I'm taking you off Facebook. I don't want to be your friend anymore. It's horrible. Like, there's just no good.
I think we can. I mean, there's 2 words that even 10 years ago you'd say them and people would lose their minds. And that's flat Earth. You'd say it and people go, no.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
You got to, okay, all right. So there's science, right? But
right.
And you've got people who believe in flat Earth. But you know what? We can all settle down. And
right.
We can talk about why it is people believe in the flat Earth theory.
Why not? I mean, it's
right.
Yeah.
And you bring people on who want to talk flat Earth. And you just have to tell people, hold your water for a second, let them get their theory out, and then we'll bring on a scientist who wants to talk the opposite and let them go at it. And then at the end, let's part as friends, shake hands. We're done, right? And it didn't hurt so bad, did it?
Right, exactly. Right. Yeah.
So it's just a simple example. And there's a key word here, and that's tolerance. If we just have a little bit of tolerance to
patience.
And patience, you're right.
Yeah. And patience.
Yeah, and I think it's okay. It's okay that people have different views, and you just go, you know what? It's okay. You have your view. That's fine. We can walk away. We can part as friends. Mm-hmm. I still respect you. You know what? It's not what I believe, but that's fine. There's space to believe what you believe. We all can part as friends. We all can go our separate ways. We're all good.
That's what makes the world turn around.
That's
Ooh,
a huge
wow.
reason why
That's right.
Behind the Witch's Veil is that people can come with different beliefs and discuss it in a safe space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to say, with the great selection of guests that you had over the years, Tim, I used to love the five, when you were doing Twin Cities and doing 5 nights, the selection of guests you would have. But now on your podcast, I really do look forward to your guests on a Thursday, as well as obviously your supernatural news that you have with Melly and Jesse, and everything was fantastic anyway. But the actual guests that you have on there, and like you said, you're certainly very patient and listen out to them, and the guests you had in the past week with some of the bits that were coming out, that's fantastic with that as well. And it is something that you're great with it. And I used to love as well when you used to have a medium come on, and a gentleman from Chicago, and the actual information. Yeah, absolutely, he was fantastic as certainly as a medium, and coming through so clearly and giving really good responses as well. So.
Unfortunately, Joe passed away a few years ago. Yeah.
No.
That's right. That's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
he was so great as a medium and coming across with the positive responses and the answers that he was when guests were calling in and just listening out. It was good. It's fantastic.
Just an aside, Dave, I'll tell you, I miss Joe immensely. Joe used to be so scary good when I was out of sorts. He would call me out of the blue, like call my phone, just call my phone and be like, "All right, what's wrong, buddy?" And, what do you mean? What's wrong? No, something's really, really wrong with you. I can feel it right here in Chicago. You know how you had that voice? You had that, kind of Mo Howard. No, something's really wrong with you. I can tell something's really, really wrong. And I'd say, well, yeah, but I'd say, okay, you're the psychic. You tell me. So he'd say, well, I'm getting this and I'm getting this and I'm getting this. And he'd nail it, And I'd be like, oh, okay. Well, where do you think I should go? And then he'd say, well, here's what you do. And he once told a friend of mine who was having issues with a husband. He'd say, I don't know why you just don't take and hit him with a frying pan. That's what we used to do in the old days. And I went, Joe, I think they call that, assault.
Yeah.
These days, yeah, I know, but I worked in the old days. You just hit him with a frying pan. It straightens him out.
Yeah, assault with a comedy ending because the noise you get from it.
Right. I'm like, but yeah, okay, that works in slapstick, but it doesn't work in modern day America, Joe. The funny thing about Joe, and I'll leave it at this, and God love you, Joe. I know you're for us. You're probably getting a good laugh at this. Joe actually has relatives that, if any of you are familiar with the Chicago area, his relatives own the Rosati's chain, the Rosati's pizza chain, which is like the second biggest pizza chain in pizza sandwiches chain in Chicago. So yeah, whenever I go to Chicago, I get Rosati's, and I
love it.
Memory of Joe. So,
Aw, that's super sweet.
We've been to Chicago. We're from Iowa, so.
Oh, there you go.
Chicago, I've never been to there, but I'm going to put it on my list
You
now.
need to go.
There you go. So yeah,
I highly recommend it. I've been there twice, and my kind of town, and that literally I saw ER being filmed there as well, and that's fantastic just to see that how great the city is and the history behind it as well. So,
yeah.
It's only 12 hours from us, actually, from where we at in Iowa. So yeah, it's just a day's trip to go up there and even come back the same day.
It would be fun.
Yeah, if you're a deep dish fan, Rosati's has got great deep dish. So
I love deep dish
stuff.
I just like pizza in general.
I don't. After I've been to Boston, that Italian food there and the pizza there is so good.
Yeah, most.
Oh, Boston, yeah.
Great thing about Rosati's, though, they deliver to your hotel room. You don't even have to.
Oh, that's nice. I've been stranded in Chicago a few times, so that's nice to know.
Yeah, you can just get it right to the hotel room. A lot of times I've just gotten it to the hotel room if I've been there for conventions. I just have it delivered. So, yeah.
No offense, like my connection flight, and it's always my connection flight that gets canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, north and south side. So you can get it delivered.
I love it.
Yeah, living in the Midwest, Chicago is always our connection to other
or in Minneapolis.
Yeah, and that too. So yeah, we've been there many times.
My neck of the woods. Just the
Now,
sweatshirt.
Ah!
Yeah, I recognize that purple.
Yep.
yeah, who doesn't? If you're from the Midwest, you know.
There's always like a great debate on the Vikings.
Yeah.
Here in Iowa. There is.
My
Yeah.
husband's family is from North Dakota, so they're Vikings fans. Because obviously North Dakota doesn't have, they have the Fighting Sioux, but that's, they obviously they don't have the Vikings. So they all love the Vikings.
I had one of theirs in Jim Kleinsasser years ago. So
Yeah.
We get every once in a while we get North Dakota players. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
You do have some co-hosts that does co-host with you on the radio show.
Absolutely.
So one of them is actually a paranormal investigator.
Yeah, actually a couple of them. Yeah. Depending on who you're talking about, actually almost all of them are. All of them are, but I'll pick.
Yeah, I
one.
was gonna say they all are. It looks like
Yeah. But are you talking about Mally or Jess or
Well, Mally at first, because that's what it said first. And then I went over and saw Jessica too as well.
Yep.
So I was like, oh wow, that is kind of cool. And he also is that Jessica's also an author. Is that correct? Or?
Yes, she is. Yeah. Jessica is a paranormal investigator with Ghost Stories Inc. And she also actually Jess runs really cool events as well. But yeah, Mally has her own clothing line, Paranormal Girl, and also is a seasoned investigator. You can go to Mally's site at paranormalgirl.com. Jess has ghoststoriesinc.com, where you can pick up her books as well. In fact, I think she has 3 different books that are out right now, along with her co-author, Natalie.
Very cool.
Yeah. Everybody's doing more stuff than me. There's to it. Travis, who's known as Combat Rev, is I keep wanting to say an Episcopalian, but he's not. He's no. You know what? I'm going to get the actual. He would laugh if I told him he was an Episcopalian priest, but he's not. What is? Oh gosh, no. He's his god is Aries, so I know it's not Episcopalian. If the Episcopalian Aries, that'd be horrible. I'm sure somebody will correct me here. But yeah.
And agnostic?
Sure.
So he worships the god Aries?
Aries,
yes.
Aries.
But he's known as Combat Rev on TikTok. He's got some of the funniest AI videos you'll ever see in your life. So, yeah, I've got probably the most talented crew. No offense, anybody here, but I've got probably the most talented crew in podcasting. So, yeah. I'll play them all day long.
So you guys have a TikTok Darkness Radio, right?
We do, although Combat Revs is separate, but he's threatening to somehow. He's made me once into a character on Sora. I don't know. He promises to refine it because I came off looking like some sort of doughy version of the Marshmallow Man from.
I'm now following you on TikTok.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah.
And I'm trying to. I'm going to point my paranormal followers towards you.
Very nice. Well, I promise to follow back. I try to follow back everybody who follows. So.
I'm just Amy. You'll just see Amy following you.
Cool.
All right. Or within the cauldron.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. Well, we'll definitely follow back. Yeah. If you follow us, we'll follow back. That's
no pressure. No pressure.
No pressure at all. No, it's our pleasure. It's our pleasure. So.
Do you guys do TikTok lives or anything about the paranormal?
Travis is trying to get me to do lives. I should do lives.
Because every time I bring up paranormal stuff in any live, people are like a moth to the flame. Like on it.
Really? Yeah, no, I should. My whole thing is, what do I talk about?
Talk about the paranormal. Just talk about like what you're talking with me right now, and people will join your live. Yeah. I'm promising you.
Travis keeps telling me just hold your guest over when you're taping and then go on and do a live with them for 15 minutes.
A quick Q&A type thing, yeah.
You know how to talk to people, so it'd be very easy for you.
Dave, you were saying before you missed the whole psychic thing, and I've actually thought about asking like some psychic friends of ours, like Jody Levon and others, to maybe come on and do a live with us, because I'll admit I do miss that part of it. But the only problem is with a recorded format, and we don't really do a format anymore. That it's hard to do. You know, we tried at one time to do all right, if you get a hold of us, we'll get a hold of you when we're taping. But then it's all, people have busy lives, right? So it's not like you can say, okay, we'll get a hold of you between such a time to such a time, and then we'll somehow sort you out, and then somehow get you a reading. And it's a lot of monkeying around.
The practicality of it definitely is so hard, isn't it? So the TikTok live does kind of fit into that. It could be
go back
workable.
To your clips and see if you missed anything, like any voices, anything like in your videos and everything. Because it records the whole live.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe we could do some readings that way.
And if you have any psychic mediums on your team, they could also go in there. People love psychic mediums on TikTok. They do.
Right on. Yeah, that's a good idea. It's better than a sharp stick in the eye.
Yeah.
That's what wearing glasses.
We have a list of tarot card readers, psychic readers. We have a list, so we can always help you out and says, hey, contact these guys, and they will help you. Even Medium Red, let's
She's
play
just
Red,
volunteering
What's that, Amy? I didn't hear what you said.
I said she's just volunteering you.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm fine with that.
You got time. I got time too. We'll have to figure something out.
Time. I do have time, so I'm totally fine. If you need any help, just let me know. I'm happy to help out. Absolutely.
All right. We'll get together for a future live then.
I used to do paranormal lives all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I love when they contact you afterwards, be like, something happened to me. I can't come back to your live. Like, it's okay.
Really?
This happened to me and my cousin, and people said that I was too spooky for them and they couldn't come back.
Stop having Nico on with the doll head.
Yes. I still have the doll head. He shows our followers. He's like, and here's Meredith. I'm like, no, I can't.
You want to see Meredith? I have a picture of her.
No, God.
Well, I have to leave the Elmo puppet behind. Is that what I have to do?
Yes.
No, bring Elmo.
Teeth, and she was stuffed with human hair too.
Yeah,
and teeth.
It's a little creepy.
And teeth.
All right. Well, I mean, I know you guys can't see it, but I have a small pirate skull back here I could bring on with me.
Oh.
I have a Taco Bell dog I could put on.
Oh, there you go. You'll hear Taco Bell.
Everybody loves Taco Bell, so no one would argue.
That was kind of like what David and Amy and I and Chrissy were talking about behind the stage when we were waiting for you to come on. It was Taco Bell. That's funny.
Pizza.
Hey, we just have Taco Tuesday.
We're huge.
Taco Bell dog.
See, I can grab him real quick. See.
What's his name? I can't remember the dog's name, but it's Yokiato Taco Bell.
Yokiato Taco Bell. He's got his own little free taco sign, right?
Yeah, see, look at that.
I think I'm trying to remember. He used to talk, but his battery doesn't work anymore. He's so old.
Oh no!
But he used to say Yokiato Taco Bell when you squeezed him.
Yeah,
he doesn't anymore. So.
I've never seen him in the commercials anymore.
Oh, it's been decades since he's been in the
I know, back in the day when I was like a child, but
that was like late 90s, I think.
Tim's laughing at you, Daisy. That's so cute.
I was born in 1990.
Wow.
When I was 3 and this thing was out.
Oh, Amy, you're so adorable. Cute.
I remember when I used to sleep in my crib with this thing.
Well,
it's just kind of hard to go to bed.
That's what I had to say to him is that I was talking to my daughter today, who's now kind of almost 17 in December, and were kind enough to wish a happy birthday with your Oh My Voice via Darkness Radio many years ago, and she was like in the car today saying, "Oh, please say thank you." It's like made a.
I hope she had a happy birthday.
You're just lucky. I didn't swear in that birthday thing.
Happy fucking birthday!
Yeah.
I love that.
I kept it PG. So.
Yeah, he did. He did.
All you have to do on TikTok is just be you. People will come.
It's going to be really embarrassing if there's only one person going, hi.
It'll be Amy. It'll be Amy.
Hi, dude. It'll be Amy. Hold up the dog. I want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't go to sleep without the dog.
We used to go on together, and we used to be like a comedy team.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
People still talk about the chandelier, but I can't talk about it on the podcast because
no.
We talk about the chandelier.
Yeah, we would talk about that later.
That's R-rated. This is R-rated.
Yeah.
Chandelier is R-rated.
I'm going to X-rated, so yeah.
Oh, never mind.
The house burning down. Yeah, it's great. They love that story.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think the TikTok live
cover is here, so you can talk about the chandelier then.
Yeah, there you go. Cover the ears.
I don't think so.
None of our sponsors would like that.
We'll lose all of our
I
sponsors.
put it this way: it has to involve with toys in the ceiling and a bedroom
And melting in a house fire.
Oh
yeah.
my.
So it's.
So you can just use your imagination from there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've got a vivid one, so I'll let it take.
Yeah. I think the worst part of it is that things was like in the ceiling for like 10 days, so everybody saw it. And yeah, so it was really embarrassing. So
It's a conversation piece, right?
Exactly.
oh, yeah.
It's like a famous story on TikTok now.
If you go on with Amy with TikTok, if you have anything
have me in a
you
box.
tell her in secret, she would tell everybody just to get the viewers to come on.
I'm like, it's story time Monday, guys. Are you guys ready?
But it kind of gets quite embarrassing at times.
I asked permission first, okay?
Okay. That's good.
She might ask permission from everybody else, but not for her own mother. She just throws me underneath the bus. So
I have to. You're my mom.
well, what's what have to do with it anyway, right?
You just chopped liver in the
The
corner.
abuse is real, Tim. The abuse is real.
So
Yes, it is.
secrets in therapy aren't a thing. That's great.
It's
Wonderful.
therapy. You know, I'm releasing it. You know?
Okay.
She is my therapy and I'm hers, and yeah, she lets everybody know it.
There's times where Chrissy's really the mother, and there's times when Amy's really the mother.
Yeah.
There is.
Role reversal is fun.
They do the role reversals very well.
No,
Great.
my favorite story, David, is okay. So Amy's just sleeping in her room, and a shadow person's just spooning her. So I just walked off. I'm a child. Don't you think a parent should help you in that situation?
You was 16.
Okay.
Of consenting age, it's fine. Yeah.
She's just telling people like this is like nothing. Yeah, this is Amy's normal. You know, just shadow people spooning her.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, this is not okay. You should have saved me in this situation.
Well, I would chase them off, and then they just come back. You know, it's like I'm not gonna stay up all night chasing off shadow people. She's okay. She's fine. You know, she's not
protected.
in the ears.
And in that moment, you could relate to why Britney Spears dances with knives, right?
Yeah, exactly. In her underwear and bra.
Yes.
So I don't feel bad for telling her secrets anymore online.
But well, I'll tell you one thing. Something about Amy is like about Meredith the doll. When she was having dreams with Meredith, she comes up and she goes, "Mommy, will you sleep with me tonight?" And I'm like, "Okay." So,
Okay,
yeah.
being attacked by spirits all night is not fun, even as in a grown adult. So yes, I will get a person and have them sleep with me because
Sure.
the attacks will lessen.
Yeah.
Like you don't know until you're in that situation.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not? Ask mommy. She can cast spells against the demons.
You're supposed to be a
That's
witch.
right, exactly.
Damn it.
Can I just tell you, it's quiet at my house.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Amy, you're close by. There you go.
So I stayed with my brother, and he goes, "My house was so quiet, but then when you went to sleep, something was running around in my kitchen." I'm like, "It's okay. This is
I
normal."
got this. Yeah.
It's just me and the dog.
I wish it was just me and the dog.
Just me and the dog.
Now,
So,
Amy
Tim-
has her and the shadow person and a couple of ghosts and
She's
maybe
got
a
a portal.
doll spirit or something.
I'm just, those people that are just haunted. Yeah, it's fine.
She has people walk in and out. She's like a moth, the little lighthouse, and moths are like totally just like
Mhm.
sticking to her. So
You're like
There's
little
Amy.
beach.
See,
It's
shadow
bubble.
people don't spoon with me. They run from me. So that's what it's about.
they want to kill him. They want to kill him.
Yeah.
I have had one after I've had surgery when I was sleeping. Just do this to me.
Oh, well, that was kind of nice.
Just pet me like I was like a dog.
They
sweet.
see what's up, Red, is they talk big shit to me, but they don't do anything to me. That's what they
Right.
do. Yeah.
Oh, it's really interesting. I've had where a spirit actually has told me to F off.
Yeah.
And it was during an Estes box session. It was really interesting. I'm like, well, it's not me saying this, but yep, they just told me to F off. Or when I went, interestingly enough, I went to Tahoe with my husband at Christmas, not last year, the year before. And we went to Virginia City, which I'd never been to. And we did the WashU Billionaire Club. And obviously, is it not Mackey's? Yeah, McKay's or Mackey's or whatever.
Yeah, Bobby Mackey's, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So we were in the WashU building and doing a tour and everything. And as I was, my husband was standing in one corner of the room and I was standing in the other corner of the room. And literally, Mackie came up to me and told me, "Get the F out. You are not allowed to be in here. No women allowed." And I told him, I said, "I'm really sorry. Times have changed. Women have voting rights now."
Yeah, right.
And again, I'm never disrespectful to any of the spirits that talk to me. I just was very blatantly told him, like, things have changed. Women have rights now. So, he didn't say anything to me, didn't want to talk to me anymore. I walked over to where my husband was standing and I walked up to him and he came back to me again and said, "That's not what I told you to do. I told you to get the F out." And I was like, "But I'm not going to do that, sir. So you're going to have to like it or lump it, But it was wild to just have somebody as clear as day, like you're talking right now, is like, "Get the F out." I'm like,
Yeah.
Can't do that. Sorry.
Yikes.
Do you use your gift anymore and talk to spirits or no?
No, I've had a few psychics that want me to open back up. This sounds batshit crazy when I say it. But I've the last couple of nice seasons here in Minnesota, I've sat outside and communed with the animals, and have kind of fun little relation. That doesn't sound right either. Fun little.
We know what you mean.
Do a trick
We
for
understand.
No, but I don't think I'm any fancy animal communicator or anything like that. But I kind of get what I pick up what they're putting down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not Dr. Doolittle or anything, but they, like I've got a couple of chipmunks that I know, they like to hang around me. So
I love that.
Yeah. So we got kind of a cool relationship. We hang out.
I feel like people with abilities do have like a great relationship with like animals as well.
In
Like
nature.
I know. Because I know a lot of animals are like drawn to me as well. I don't know if that's how you are, Colleen, but like a lot of people I do know.
Yeah, right now I have a mama bunny who's I didn't think bunnies were nocturnal. I didn't, but this bunny is. This mama bunny shows up on my step at about midnight to 1 o'clock in the morning lately, and it's been cold out here in Minnesota. It's
Well, yeah, you had trees that are they're imploding or exploding because they can't handle the cold.
exploding. But this bunny, when it was 18 degrees below zero air temperature, was showing up on the front step at midnight and just kind of sitting there waiting for me to bring out seeds. So I was going out and bringing her seeds, right? So
that's sweet.
Yeah,
it is sweet.
She knew.
Yeah, the nocturnal thing's good. So it's right. I drive home and I see them on the side of the roads.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. And then the other day, I rarely eat fast food anymore. I mean, I have my vices, like I've got my, but the other day I decided, I'm going to take one spin through the McDonald's drive-through, and there's a bunny. I'm trying to tell this little bunny, get out of the drive-through. You're going to get run over. And the thing's sitting there chewing on grass, looking at me like, and are you going to feed me? So I don't know. I had an interesting conversation with a bunny in the drive-through at McDonald's, which sounds like I'm batshit crazy, but
no,
but, you know,
there's no crazy here.
Yeah, there is no crazy here. My husband looks at me and says to me all the time, "Are you talking to me? Or are you talking to a spirit? Or are you talking to the dogs?" I said, "Well, I'll address you." His name happens to be Tim as well, too. I'll say, "I'll address you, Tim, when it's your turn to be talked to."
But whether it be the 400-pound squirrel in my yard, which no, or the bunny who's gained quite a bit of weight, I think because the bunny ate all the blueberries I put out the other day, or my chipmunks. I've gained some friends in the animal kingdom around here.
That's really cool.
That's all good. That's all good.
Yeah.
All good.
I live in the country, so I see animals, lots of animals. I saw an eagle today, which was really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah. I'm like the Snow White of my fucking neighborhood is what I am.
That's what I was thinking when you were telling me that you were like sitting outside just talking to the animals. I'm like, it reminds me of like a mouse, Snow White.
Yeah,
I just see like the birds tripping around going,
why's it got to be a male Snow White? I don't look good in a dress with back hair. I mean, come on.
I'm there for
you gotta have a little, either a little necklace that has a bow, or maybe you have to put the little bow on your head, like that.
You can borrow some of my hair. I have dark enough hair for you.
That's the plunging neckline with this right here. I mean,
there you go. See? Sexy.
Yeah.
Well, everyone always called Amy Snow White ever since she was a little kid.
Yeah.
Everybody says, "Oh, she's Snow White," because she always had animals come up to her and
animals and dead people.
And
animals and
dead people. Yes. So, and I used to put a ribbon on her hair when she was little.
When she was younger. When she was 16.
I was her first daughter, so she had to get it really girly.
Oh,
yeah.
I had really girly hair when I was in high school, and God took it away. I had spiked hair on top, and it was permed in the back, and it was very long. And then God said, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then it was all gone when I was 20.
My mom prayed that I wouldn't have red hair and that I wouldn't have big boobs. So I said, 1 out of 2 ain't bad, right? I got the red hair, but nope.
My mom prayed that I wouldn't have spiked hair and big boobs, and I had both. And so
2 out of 2 is right.
There's only one in the corner that has those. I don't.
Yeah. So there you go. We have something in common there, Red.
That's right. Exactly.
Well, Tim, it's been a pleasure to have you on.
Pleasure's all mine.
We had a blast.
I had a lot of fun too.
We
Yeah.
did.
We talked a little bit about everything. It was wonderful.
I got too deep in some subjects here, maybe, but we didn't say it was G-rated.
We got a little paranormal in the way there. If I can, let me plug real quick, and then I'll get the business out of the way. Darknessradioshow.com. you can find out where you can listen to us, whatever player you use, by going to the front page of darknessradioshow.com. Mally's website, paranormalgirl.com, for any of your needs there.
Can't wait.
Jessica Freeberg's books are at jessicafreeberg.com. You can also get an autograph book if you email her directly. And of course, Combat Rev, you can find him on TikTok. So there you go.
Yep, Darkness Radio on TikTok. Follow him.
Yep, and Darkness Radio on TikTok. Thank you. You can follow us on Darkness Radio on TikTok. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we would love to have you back on again sometime, maybe with Mally and Jessica too as well.
Yeah.
All come on together. And David, of course, you always have to come on with us when Tim comes on too as well.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and just
very kind.
have
Thank
fun
you.
again. Have a party podcast.
And we'll talk more about the paranormal, I promise.
Yes.
I'm down for whatever. That's fine.
Maybe.
I make sure Amy keeps her comments clean next time.
Never.
Like
It's fine.
This is what you get when you get a family podcasters that works together.
I'm never letting the family on except for Uncle Bob.
But I just say thank you very much. And for everybody who is tuning in and listening tonight, please subscribe, like, and share out. Go over to the Darkness Radio too as well and subscribe and listen and get some books from Jessica and go to Mally's website and buy some clothes, So anyway, I just want to say good night, everybody. Many blessings. And
Tim and Nate, hang back a little bit after we close out. Hang back in the backstage area.
She always got my back. She always has my back. I'm so blessed. Well, blessings, everybody. Good night.
Good night. Bye, everybody.
Bless you.